never know what crazy experiences or extreme situations you might face in the future. Well, solving riddles doesn't just improve your brain. It also helps you find your way out of bizarre situations. Our riddles train your brain to react quickly and think outside the box, even when the pressure level is way, way up. What if you witness a robbery, or have to stop a crime? Or have to help somebody figure out who the liar is or a spy is? I mean, these are valuable skills. You might impress your friends, your boss, or who knows. Your best bet is to be ready at all times. Still, first things first, let's test how quick your wits are right now. I've got 8 perfect riddles just for that. Can you solve at least 3 of these tough riddles? I bet you can. Let's start with a riddle about a secret agent. The spy. A spy appeared at a university. He wasn't a real teacher at all. He used to pass valuable information to other universities. The university hired a private detective to catch this sneaky spy. The detective questioned 3 teachers who were under suspicion. The first teacher said, "I've been teaching here for 10 years. The students have known me for a very long time." And the second teacher said, "I teach horticulture. I heard all the students speak very highly of me." And the third teacher said, "I'm new to the university, but it already feels like home. I love it here." So, who's the spy? Turn your brain on and solve this riddle. You got 10 seconds. The answer? It was the second teacher. He teaches horticulture. You know, that means like plant stuff. But the flowers in his class are all dried up. That means he doesn't know anything about plant care. He's definitely the spy. Hey, do you like superheroes or superpowers? Well, this next riddle is for you. But I gotta warn you, be prepared to witness some unusual and even scary superpowers. The unusual superpower. One day, John was waiting in the subway. His train was late as usual. He was eating an apple as he always did for breakfast. Suddenly, he noticed a homeless man nearby. Different people walked past and John could hear everything the homeless man was saying. The homeless man said, "A pig. A man. A chicken." John thought it was pretty rude. When he got on the train, he heard the homeless man again. This time he said, "An apple." John stopped cold in his tracks. He was horrified by what he had heard. Hey, so what surprised John? I'll give you 12 seconds for this difficult puzzle. The answer? The homeless guy had the super ability to know the last thing that someone ate. Remember, after one guy walked past him, the homeless guy said, "A man." What do you think about this superpower? Would you like to have it? Tell me in the comments. The chess match. A chess club was hosting a world chess tournament. The tournament began, but none of the players started playing. The club president made one call, and they all started to play. Why couldn't they start without making a call? Use your logic skills and solve this riddle. I'll give you 12 seconds. The answer? There was a disco nearby pumping out loud music. The chess club president called and asked them to turn it down a little bit. Do you like taking long nature walks? Maybe in a forest? Would you be able to solve a riddle about a woodsman's house? Well, let's find out. The woodsman's house. A woodsman's house was robbed in winter. 3 suspects were questioned. There was a man with a bicycle. He said, "I wasn't in the woods that day. My bicycle can't handle the terrain." Then there was a man with a bike. He said, I was there, but I couldn't use my bike, so I had to walk. And then there was a man with a scooter. My scooter was working okay, so I rode it into the forest. The police immediately realized who was lying. So who was it? Look at the evidence and answer this question. You got 12 seconds. The answer? It was the third man. He said he was driving, but look at the tracks. He was walking. Alright, let's move on to a school. Time to catch a cheater. The exam. During lunchtime, the answer key to a final exam was stolen. The principal summoned the most notorious school pranksters. He asked them what they were doing during the theft. Stan said, I was walking with my girlfriend in the park. She can confirm it. Jack said, I was in history class. And Steve says, I was preparing for the test. I mean, really studying hard. You know, like for the first time ever. I definitely didn't steal anything. The principal immediately realized who stole the questions. So who lied to the principal? Catch him if you can, you got 12 seconds. The answer? It was Jack. I mean, history class? I don't think so. Not during lunch. Hey, do you love libraries? Or running? Yeah, it's a weird combination, I know, but this riddle is just for you. The library. A policeman was patrolling the street. Suddenly, right in front of his eyes, a criminal in a black jacket stole a wallet from a passerby and disappeared. The policeman chased him to a library where he ran in. When the policeman entered, he didn't see anyone in a black jacket. Still, this was one smart cop. He examined everyone and immediately knew which of them was the thief. So, it's your turn. Who's the thief? Do you have that magic investigative eye? Let's find out. You got 10 seconds. The answer? One of the readers is wearing a super fancy suit and sneakers. It's gotta be him. The storm. There was a strong storm in the small town of Salt. Everyone just sat home without electricity. All the schools were closed. So the brothers Rob, John, and Pete stayed at home for the day. They just lounged around until suddenly their father called them in. He was very angry because someone had smashed their TV with a ball. He wanted to find out who did it, so he questioned each of them. Rob said, I didn't touch the ball. I was doing homework for most of the day. Then I played on my laptop. John said, I read a book, then I wanted to take a walk, but it got dark real fast, and I didn't go anywhere. Pete said, I was writing my school paper on the computer. The father immediately realized who was to blame. So who's guilty? Your 12 seconds starts now. The answer? Rob and Pete said they used a computer when there was no electricity. But Rob was using a laptop. He could have just been using it on battery power. Peter is to blame because he couldn't have been using the computer with no power. The last riddle is a classic detective riddle. You'll need to summon up all your logic skills to crack the case. The car. Police officers received a message. It was a hit and run. A gray car hit a woman and drove off. The police went to the house of a man whose car looked like the one from their description. After seeing the police, the owner went down to talk to them in his pajamas. He said, I've been here all day long. I couldn't drive anywhere even if I wanted to. I lost my keys yesterday, and the new key won't be ready until Friday. There were no dents on the car. The policeman said, that means nothing. The hit wasn't that strong. Luckily, that poor woman is still alive. The policeman was sure that it was this man who had driven into that poor woman. How did he know? It's a hard question with an easy answer. But can you solve it? You have 12 seconds. The answer? The policeman leaned against the hood of the car. It's the easiest way to know if the car's been off for a long time. And obviously, the hood was still warm.